Welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. Today we're working on the Sugary Dew Quilt Along from 2019, row 10, part 10, or part 10, row 10. So it happens to be the same row and part, okay? So it is some circle shapes, but you can improv them as well. I couldn't decide from her templates which one I wanted to do, so I did them all. I did all the shapes. Why? Because I can. So I did. So the only one I have left here to do is my accent fabric, which is the gray. I will show you what the two strips that I have done and already put together here so far. You have to put a strip of 6 together, and then a space for the accent fabric, and then a strip of 5 together, because there's 12 total. Okay, so I used 3 different types of bluey type fabric for this. Hers was more, I don't know. It wasn't my tone, but that's okay. I'm trying to get it still that it would look really nice. So I've chosen these fabrics here. So there's my 5-pack, and then there is my 6-pack, okay? And we're just gonna make it exactly the same. It's very similar to the half circles or the little half moons that we were working on a couple of weeks ago. So you take your little parchment paper or your foundation paper or your wax paper or foundation fabric or whatever it is you got underneath your belt to work with, and then you just use the templates here, or even just a mug or a plate or something from your cupboard that measures a certain about 6 inches. The square you're going to cut for the back of it to fill it up is 5.5 by 5.5. So don't make it any more bigger than that. So I'd say by 4.5 by 4.5 sort of section to work with. So now that we have this here, we have our black background fabric and put on, and our little template that we're going to follow is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew with black thread on that line the best I can, okay? And then what I'm going to do is then we're going to flip it, we're going to reverse applique it. So what we're going to do is end up turning it right side out, having all those little trimmed edges all the way in the inside. You can see how they're in between the pieces of fabric and the foundation there. And then we go and we place our other fabric right on the back, pin it all the way around, and then sew with a complementary fabric that matches the background so you don't see it. So of course mine's black, so I've been using black thread. So I'm going to go and put it underneath the machine, and we're going to sew around this circle, then we're going to snip it, and then we're going to cut it about 1/4 to 1/2 inch all the way around, and then we're going to come in with the little snips and come in as close to those threads as possible, so when we go and turn it right side out, we get a really nice precise circle or curved edges or weebly wobblies or whatever it is that we're aiming for. Okay, so let's do that. And you want to go all the way around. You want to make sure those threads attach right back up together, okay? I didn't change the stitch length at all. I'm just trying to move my fabric following the pencil template or, you know, marker. I found that the markers I were using weren't sticking, even if it said permanent, to the parchment paper. I would still get a little bit of residue of marker on my fingers or whatever I was working with. So I don't trust the markers because of the parchment paper. So maybe it might work better with the wax paper. I'm not sure, but. And you're stitching on the line anyways. Nobody's ever going to see it. Okay, so all the way around, back again. I'm going to take that out. And now we put a snip in the center, and then we're just going to trim, okay? So let's fold it. Put our little snip in the center there. And then we come around, and we make sure to give it a good 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch allowance, okay? Because we got to trim that to be able to flip it, so when it flips, it looks like a little rounded corner box, or something close to thereof. I like the improv or the freestyle part of this whole project. It does allow you to add your own little flair to it, your own little spin on your own creativity. So it's been a really good, fun time for me, and I'm kind of sad there's only 2 more parts left, 11 and 12, and then we get to put it all together. Okay, so just come as close to those threads as you can, but don't go through them. If you do, then, you know, just restitch. Okay. but give yourself plenty, because the more you give yourself, I don't want you to shred it like it's, you know, confetti, but, you know, at least a 1/4 inch apart. And it'll give you a nice curvature of what you're aiming for. It's just a little game of patience. Sometimes I don't always have those, but I do try. Okay, all right, I think I got that. And then here's the easy part. You literally just take this, all these little 4 corners, and you push them through to the other side. And we're just flip it right out. Flip it the other way. So now that paper is on the back side. There you go, see? And then just with a little bit of like finger pressing or nail pressing as you come around with where the seams are meeting between the back and the front, that'll give you a nice flat sewing circle or curve, okay? So there we go. Isn't that cool? Super easy. There we go. Now we take our accent fabric, and whether it was like, this is just gray, but if it was, you know, obviously the right side, you want to make sure the right side is showing up, like if it was a window sort of thing, because you're like, it's like a little peekaboo window. Okay. And then make sure I've got enough room, so when I put my pins all the way around, I'm not going to miss anything. I'm making sure I'm getting all the fabric and getting it on close. So I found this, the easiest way is to pin them all the way around like this, not this way following the curve, is to kind of go parallel. Okay. And then just come in close, and then you just stop before you get to the needle, of course, right? Put as many pins as you need to help keep it curved. I found sometimes putting one in one end and one in the other, and then just kind of working it like the north, south, east, west, and then the ones in between to help keep it kind of nice and flat. Because sometimes this fabric in here can get a little bunchy. Okay. Okay, put another pin right about there. And I found the little ones worked really well for this. Okay, little tiny pins. And then we're just going to sew with our black thread all the way around this little edge as close to it as we can. Okay. So it doesn't matter where you start, just as long as you go all the way around. Okay. Slow and steady wins the race. It's not usually a t-shirt I like to wear, but because, you know, I'm a Leadfoot Larry. But, you know, sometimes slow and steady does win the race. So I have discovered this weekend in my adventures of camping with my girlfriend, I haven't been camping for like 16 years, that it is for the young and the fit, not the old and the fluffy. Though I don't feel old. I was just like, I'm just not used to it, right? And I've just been, you know, just trying to, I had a great time, I really did, and it was just amazing, but there's just so much entailed when it comes to like setup and takedown and this and that and everything else, and you know, we had a blast though, we really did. Unfortunately, it rained for 14 hours straight, and so heavy sometimes I thought we were gonna wash away. But we played card games and a couple little games that she had in the tent trailer for the kids, and or that they played with the kids and stuff like that. But you know, we had a good time. Excellent food. She treated me very nice. I was in charge of breakfasts both mornings, and she was in charge of dinner. And we just kind of winged it with just like fruit and crackers for lunch. So, and there we go. Isn't that beautiful? Our beautiful accent fabric. So now what we have to do with this square right here is square it up to fit the other pieces here. So what we want is the height of 7 inches and the width of 6 3/8. I know it sounds weird, but 6 3/8 is what it is, okay? So we take our piece right here, we put it on our board, we want to trim out the height first, or it's up to you. I like trying to go the height first, and then I can work the width, okay? So, oh, there it is, all right. Okay. And this is my paper blade. Keep switching it back and forth in my cutter. Okay. So I want to make sure this comes to 7 inches. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got plenty of room on both sides to square this up. So here's the first cut. Here's the second cut. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm going to line it up again where I'm thinking it's kind of equally on both sides of that fabric, whether it be the accent fabric or the main fabric you're using for your project. And now we want to go to the 6 3/8. So if I cut it off here at this line right here, and that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I get the 3/8 off of this one, that looks to me like it's going to be pretty equal. I don't want it so it's like you only have this tiny little sliver of background fabric when you're trying to sew onto something, right? You kind of want to make it as equal as possible. All right, so we go 1, 2, 8, and 3/8. There we go on the ruler and trim up. Okay. And there is this little bits and stuff. I mean, you can save it for a project if you like. It's up to you. So where this goes in the row, it gets attached right here. And I've made this as a substitute for this fabric. Did I? Oh, I did. I put it here because I did cut 4, 4, and 4. So that was the substitute. The accent fabric was substituting this. So I just kept the rows the same. I just went the 3 and the 3 and the 3 and then just kept it going. So here that gets sewn onto there. And then this will get sewn onto here. Okay. All right. So let's do that first. And of course, you're going to sew the width, the length. So you're doing the 7 inch, doing the 7 inches long. And then, of course, it's the 6 3/8 wide. Okay. So back under the machine. You can trim your fabrics out in the back if you wanted to. To me, it doesn't really matter. Nobody's ever going to see this, and it's black. So I just thought I'd save myself a little fussy step and just leave it. And then attach it right there to the other part of our row. Okay. And that is row 10, part 10, row 10 of the Sugary Dew Quilt Along for 2019. All done. And then you've got 11 and 12, and then we'll put it together. We'll put it together on the last one. Put all our rows together. Okay. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Love all the color. It's a crinkle quilt. If you leave paper in, it's a crinkle quilt. I think that looks really nice. I'm loving the blues. They almost kind of look a little bit like stained glass little windows. I like it. I like it a lot. So, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing, and leaving a comment below. We greatly appreciate it here at the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. Don't forget to tune in Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern for our live stream. We're going to continue working on the peacock feathers project that we're coming together. A very intense paper piecing, 48 pieces for just a tiny little section, but it is looking amazing. I did realize, I knew when I did the first one, I made a tiny mistake, but that's okay. The second one, I did make a tiny mistake again, but the third and the fourth I've done since then, I did them perfectly. So just lesson and learn. Don't ever give up. You can do it. Don't ever give up. Don't be discouraged either if you do make a mistake. Keep it for something else, or if you want incorporating the project, the only person that's going to know that something was wrong is you. So thank you, everybody. Big hugs. Thank you very much for all your time, and we appreciate every single one of you. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you real soon.